Hi, welcome to my video on Find the Equation of a Sinusoidal Function, Part 3. Find the equation of the sinusoidal function. Number 1, we have a maximum point of 20 degrees and 2, and a minimum point of 380 degrees, negative 4. So, if we mark this one as 20 degrees, and mark this one as 380 and is not drawn to specs as the distance, and the y value is 2, so 3 here, so there's 2, so 22 is this one, and 380 negative 4, come on down, and we go down to here. So what happens is that we have, this is the maximum point going down to the minimum point. So if you think of that, we think of that in between 2 and a negative 4. And let's have a look. We have a maximum value of 2, and we have a minimum value of negative 4. So the average is in the middle, which is the sinusoidal sinusoidal axis. 2 add on negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2 over 2, negative 1. So the sinusoidal axis is y equals negative 1, which means k is negative 1. And halfway in between, if you want to get the number of degrees, halfway, if it's in the middle, the sinusoidal axis is negative 1, so that's the sinusoidal axis right here, going along right there, so that's y equals negative 1, and she drops down, so halfway the number of degrees is 380 plus 20 divided by 2 is 400 divided by 2. So in the middle is 200 degrees, which is, let's say it's in the middle here, and negative 1. So right here, so it comes down, goes to the middle. There it is. So mark this point, and we mark this point. Just wanted to indicate that was the middle point there. So notice that when we have this done, that means that based on that we have an amplitude, and the amplitude is, the maximum is 2, and the sinusoidal axis is negative 1. So the amplitude is 2, subtract negative 1, the difference is 2 plus 1. The amplitude is 3. So at this point, or we can again get the average. The amplitude is from the maximum to the sinusoidal axis, or we can get the height from 2 down to negative 4, like this is 6. So the amplitude is half of that, 3. So it's 3 down to the sinusoidal, or is 3 up to the sinusoidal. So the amplitude is 3. Also, this is half, because the other part of the graph could go like this. So this is half of it. So that means that half the period is 380 minus 20. So half the period is 360. So if that's half the period of 360, multiplying by 2 gives me the period. Multiplying by 2 gives me 720. So the period is 720. And that means that if we take the period and it equals to 360 divided by b, so the period is 720 equals 360 degrees divided by b, and if we go right here, cross multiply, we get 720b equals 360. Divide by 720, cancels, b comes out to be 1/2. So now we have the k, the a, and the b. So let's pick up from 20. Let's let h be 20 degrees. 20. That means, notice that we're starting from here, so there's a cos graph. So we got y equals a cos of b theta minus h plus k. And going from 20 is going down, so that means that a is going to be a plus, better be careful, plus 3. So a is 3 cos, b is a half, theta is, h is 20, so that's a minus 20 degrees, and k is -1. We could also go from here to make h equals 380. So at 380, notice this is a cos graph again, is coming up from the minimum, but the cos here is negative, so a is a -3. And cos going down is positive, cos going up is a negative. That's the opposite to the sign. So the equation is y equals a cos b theta minus h plus k. So this time a is -3. It's a cos graph. B is still a half. Theta, and that's 380, so it's a minus 380 degrees. And the k is a -1. So again, you can have either one of these two equations. Okay, let's find it. We have another one to do, another question. We're given that we have a maximum value of 9, a minimum value of 1, and we're moving down from -pi/6, comma 5, and it has a period of 2 pi/3. So let's see, we have a maximum value of 9, minimum of 1. So that means that if the maximum value is 9 and the minimum value is 1, so that means again the average, which is the sinusoidal axis, is 9 plus 1 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So y equals 5 is the sinusoidal axis. Also, k is 5. So the sinusoidal axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. So the sinusoidal axis is going through here. Now, based on that, let's pick up the amplitude. So if the maximum value is 9, so the amplitude is the maximum value minus the sinusoidal axis. So it's maximum of 9 minus the sinusoidal axis of 5. So the amplitude for this graph is 4. Because if 9 is the maximum, there's 5 here. If 1 is the minimum, from 4 down to 1 is, from 5 down to 1 is 4. We have the amplitude. So let's see. We have the period. We're given the period as 2 pi/3. So that means the period is 2, I'm going to put b in. The period is 2 pi/b. So the period is 2 pi/3 equals 2 pi/b. And notice that if 2 pi here, 2 pi here, so it means b, without working, you can see the b got to be 3. So Now, the point is starting from negative pi over 6. So this is a negative pi over 6 here, and up 5. So notice it's coming down like this. But this is the sinusoidal axis. So that means that I must have, it's coming down. So that means the h is a negative pi over 6. And it's coming down. Sinusoidal axis is 5, so it's coming down from 5. So that means I must have a sine equation. And it's going down. So that means I have sine going down is a negative. So that means A is going to be, the amplitude is the A, so the A is going to be negative 4. So y equals A, it's a sine graph because you're coming down from the sinusoidal, B theta minus h plus k. So y A is negative 4, sine B is 3, and theta, and h is negative pi over 6, so negative over negative is a positive because we do the opposite in the brackets, and k is 5. So that gives me the equation that represents this info. And there's a couple of extra problems that I worked out for you just to make sure you understand what you're doing. And again, if you like my video, click the like button. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button. If you wish to subscribe to my channel, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video was of some help to you. Bye-bye.